This is our shredder granulator combination unit. It is the 600 series. We have a 600 series, which does about 600 pounds an hour, a 1000, which does 1,000 pounds per hour, and a 1400 series, which does 1,400 pounds an hour. What it has is a 15 horsepower shredder on the top, and then a 10 horsepower granulator below. It's including in this unit is a integrated blower system, which is right here. So it's a nice small footprint for doing your purge or hard parts, glass-filled parts. The machine works great because the shredder is able to break it down and then bring the parts down into the smaller pieces into the granulator portion of the unit. I'm going to stop the video now and start opening it up and show you more details on the unit. I've taken off the safety cover for the shredder. That's the cover. And this shredder cover basically covers up your shredder portion and doesn't allow anyone's hands to get into where the knife portion is for the granulator. There's a safety on it to ensure that the unit will not start unless the cover is on. The top part has the shredders up here, and you can see the shredder knives right there. And we have a smaller screen on it. We usually have 20 millimeter screens to 30 millimeter screens on it. So the top portion breaks the larger pieces down, which makes them into smaller portions. And then it goes down into a granulator section down here, which then has a classifying screen on it, which then gets it to the appropriate size. This has two stator knives on it, one at the 9 o'clock position, and then one down deep there at the 4 o'clock position. So it gives it a nice even cut. This one's set with an 8 millimeter screen. You can change the screen size 4, 6, 8, 10, whichever you like on it. And that way you can take large purges or heavy duty pieces, shred it in the top portion, have it drop down to the granulator, and then you'll be able to have it vacuumed out to the vacuum system, which is below. And this is what the vacuum system looks like. And then we put it into the material bin. So it's a self-enclosed unit, and it does 600 pounds an hour, this unit. This is a view of the back side of the unit. Right here is located your power pack for your hydraulic system. Hydraulic system comes up, and there's basically a ram that goes right down the middle and just keeps pushing the material towards the shredder, which is located in that area. Should the granulator amp up or the shredder itself amps up, the ram will actually back off and allow everything to get back to normal in the cycle. It has two sensors, a high sensor and a low sensor. So this way it can communicate back to the brains of the machine on where the ram is at and where it's located. And you can change the timing of the ram to change the speed and the force of the ram. And then this is your integrated blower system. The material just gets pulled right from the hopper underneath the granulator and right to this point. I'll just give you a quick display of the control panel. So it's a blower, granulator, hydraulic unit for it, the shredder, and a conveyor. This is our lab unit. We don't have the conveyor on the unit, but there is a conveyor for the unit. And I'll give you a little tour of the inside of it. Kind of shows you what's going on the inside of the panel. It's made with Eaton parts, Wheeling parts, throughout the thing, so in Siemens. So if there's any electrical issues, it's easy to replace the parts on this unit. To start this unit is fairly simple. You turn on the safety. So now the power is on, there's power going on the machine. You come over here, press system reset. The system reset basically makes sure all your safeties are in line. There's a variety of safeties on this unit to make sure the shredder door is closed, that the gate for the underneath the granulator is closed, and that your door on your blower system isn't open, so no one can get hurt while operating the system. Then just go over here, press blower. It engages your blower. This engages your granulator. That's to engage your hydraulic unit right here. And then now your shredder is actually moving at this time. This overload lamp will go off in a few seconds. It normally goes on. And then she's ready to operate. Once you get to this point, you just start loading product into it. And it's a very simple process after that, because you drop it in, the ram automatically works, and then evacuates the material into the bin. To turn it off, just the same thing, but in reverse. And now the system has turned itself off. We're going to run your test, but we're going to run it in the 600 series. With the size of your patties and just the thickness of it, you really need to go with the 1400 series. It's going to need the extra horsepower. It's going to need the extra space just to put the size patty in there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to stop the video. We're going to start up the machine, and then we're going to just run the pieces through there. Then we'll send you the results from it. But again, we're running it in a 600, where with the size, thickness of your material and heaviness of it, you're going to need a 1400 unit to handle this size patty. Let's go. All right, we're loading up the first piece. Show you what it looks like coming out. It's having no problem processing through your material. The second piece now. Looks okay. She'll level out as the ram goes back. machine has no problem processing your stuff. You'll get a much higher rate on the larger machines, because they'll have a lot more of the ram actually affecting the material. Where this is only 600 millimeters wide, the other one's 1400. Is the piece keeps reorientating around the knives as the ram lets off pressure, so it just continues to cut it. So it takes like one slab at a time, works it out, then moves on to the next, comes back to release the pressure, and keeps it going. Your material, no real pressure on the granulator, and not a whole lot on the shredder. Once in a while it'll bounce up, but the material doesn't really affect the machine. It's heavy material, but it's soft. So we'll continue to finish this load, and then I'll show you the end results. Here's the material from your test. We only ran one patty. We didn't do both of them, but this is the first patty. Nice clean cut. On the larger unit, what we would prefer to use would be a larger shredder screen, because we use a 20 millimeter shredder screen here, and I think with the softness of your material, once it's taken off and kind of cut down off the patty into more like Parmesan cheese type of strips, it's much easier to grind. So I think we'd get more throughput by putting in a larger shredder screen. And we use a 6 millimeter screen on your granulator side. And this is the material. There's no heat, not a lot of dust. Everything looks pretty darn clean on it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pack this up, and we'll send it to you for your review.